are trying to understand, are trying to find out. I know that many Filipinos don't exactly know who they are.
Tonight I think we're really fortunate because we have part of our history with this. We have a man who has gone through all of that and who has survived. Larry Itliong, who I first met in 1972.
Marami ng dokumentaryo ang nagawa tungkol sa buhay ni Larry Itliong. Marami na rin ang nagsalaysay ng Delano Grape Strike at ang naging papel niya sa kasaysayan ng Amerika. Pero kakaunti lamang ang nagkaroon ng pagkakataong marinig mismo ang kanyang boses. At mas kakaunti pa ang nakakapanayam siya habang siya ay nabubuhay. Sa ating episode ngayon, hindi lamang natin aalalahanin ang kanyang pangalan. Pakikinggan din natin ang kanyang sariling kwento mula sa isang bihirang audio interview taong 1970s ni Evelyn Kasuga, founder ng Filipino-American National Historical Society sa Phoenix, Arizona. Ako si Dong Robles at ito ang Profile Overseas Diaries, kung saan ang kasaysayan ay hindi lamang ikinukwento. Ito ay pinakikinggan.
It is a privilege and an honor to be with a young group of Filipinos that are trying to understand and are trying to find out where they're coming from.
Yeah, they're growing up in an interesting time and place here. But I think for any of us, all of us, knowing where we come from and who we are is critical to building and keeping that sense of self, that sense of place, and lays a foundation for my parents. They always wanted me to do better, so you just keep the building blocks. And because sadly, if there's the feeling of disconnection and no sense of belonging, it's easy to lose your way.
Magalang, mahinahon, at diretso sa kanyang mga salita si Larry Itliong. At sa bawat ala-alang ibinabahagi ni Evelyn Kasuga, mas lalo nating nauunawaan ang halaga ng panayam na ito. Dahil ang mga susunod ninyong maririnig ay hindi kathang isip. Hindi ito isinulat makalipas ang maraming dekada. At lalong hindi ito mga kwentong ipinasa lamang sa iba. Ito ay mga salaysay ng mga taong mismong nabuhay, nakibaka at nakaranas ng realidad ng pagiging Pilipino sa Amerika. Sa kanilang sariling tinig at sa kanilang sariling alaala.
Don't exactly know who they are. Don't exactly know where they're going. They don't know exactly what is their identification, whether they want to be identified as Filipinos or not. Because Filipino identification is not the best identification in this country. Filipinos have been locked down for many, many years in this country. Filipinos are locked down because we were brought here primarily in the early 20s as laborers. We were not recognized as people with intellect, We were recognized only as laborers, as people that are close to the ground. And you know, you could cut asparagus, you could cut lettuce, and you could bunch carrots and things like that. That is the impression of the American public. As a matter of fact, they don't know what the Philippine Islands is. Many Americans in this country, until 15 years ago, 20 years ago, don't know that the Philippines exist. They don't know that the Philippines is under the American government. I was in San Luis in 1967. I talked to that old lady for about 2 hours, telling him what Filipinos is all about and why, as a Filipino farm worker, I'm there, trying to fight for improvement for the human right of the Filipino. She came from the old country. You know what they call the old country? Europe. She was not born here in this country, but she thinks she owns the country. She thinks the country belongs to her. Why? Because she's white, I'm brown. And you know, after talking to that old lady for a couple of hours, I gave her a lesson in her life that made her realize that there are more people in this world, not just whites, but there are blacks, there are browns, there are yellows, and they are just as human beings. And they have the same feeling, the same aspiration like she does.
Habang libu-libong kabataang Pilipino ang dumating sa Amerika noong dekada 1920 at 1930, dala nila ang pag-asang mababago ang kanilang buhay. Ngunit ang realidad na kanilang hinarap ay malayo sa kanilang inaasahan. Mababang sahod, mahahabang oras ng paggawa, matinding diskriminasyon, at isang lipunang hindi pa handang tanggapin sila bilang kapantay. Isa si Larry Itliong sa mga nakasaksi at nakaranas ng panahong iyon.
That when we came here 40, 50 years ago, we were not considered as human beings when we came to this country. Although the Americans say to us that the United States is a land of freedom, a land of equality, land of justice.
Hindi lamang impormasyon ang ibinigay ni Larry Itliong sa panayam na ito. Nagbigay siya ng pananaw, mga salitang nagsasalamin kung paano tinignan ang mga Pilipino sa Amerika sa loob ng maraming dekada. At marahil hanggang ngayon ay may mga aral pa rin tayong kailangan pakinggan.
So, a Filipino like me, I came here when I was 16 years old. I want to find out. The other side to that story, they say that you go to the United States, you pick money on the trees. You pick money on the street, you know. Me, I'm a son of a farmer, you know. Why don't I go to the United States and pick money on the street? I don't have to plow the field, huh? How many of you here knows about plowing the field? You're born in this country, right? How many of you have heard the stories from your parents that they came to this country because they feel they have the opportunity of making enough money and hopefully to be able to help the relatives to bring about a better future for them. But did that happen? Hell no.
Because just seeing young people in general wanting to be more active and be more activist, because they need to, we all need to be, even the old people need to remember too, because we can't give stuff away, we can't be erased. We are part of this history here in this country.
Kung may isang bagay na may iwan sa atin matapos marinig ang boses ni Larry Itliong, hindi iyon simpleng kasaysayan. Isa itong paalala na mga karapatan at oportunidad na mayroon tayo ngayon ay hindi kusang ibinigay. Ito'y ipinaglaban, pinaghirapan, at sa mas maraming pagkakataon, ipinaglaban gamit ang dugo, pawis at luha ng mga naunang henerasyon. Ang tanong ngayon ay hindi na lamang kung kilala natin si Larry Itliong. Ang mas mahalagang tanong ay ano ang gagawin natin upang hindi na muling makalimutan ang kanyang kwento. Dong Robles, Profile Overseas Diaries. Stories beyond borders, real people, real stories, real impact.
We were paid at that time 8 cents an hour, 10 cents an hour. How many hours can you work to make $1? You gotta work 10 hours. If you are paid 10 cents an hour, right? You work 10 hours, you get 8 cents. It's gonna cost you a nickel to go to your work, cost you another nickel to go back home. How much money you got left? Nothing. And then you have to pay $5 a month rent in the place that you're staying. That is the kind of beginning that we were confronted in this country.